What's going on, Walking Dead fans? We are back on this beautiful Monday night. Season 9, Episode 11, Bounty. We've got more of Carol and Ezekiel's relationship. Alpha and her group are more savage than we realized, and Daryl is faced with a hard decision. Plus, we've got some news and gossip, so don't click away.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's going on, Walking Dead fans? We're here. We are back to cover the latest episode of The Walking Dead. I am here with a beautiful panel. I've got Krista, Flentje, and Angele Taylor. How are you, ladies?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good. It's good to see you guys. Krista, I've missed you.
I know. I missed you. We kept missing
We're
each
like
other.
two ships passing in the night.
We're back now, though.
We are
it's
back.
Great.
Unfortunately, April is not with us this week, but hopefully she will be back next week and we will have a full panel. I know I keep saying that, but I'm still crossing my fingers.
It will happen.
Keep hope alive.
Yes, we'll keep hope alive. Let's dive into the episode, shall we, you guys?
Let's do it.
What were your overall thoughts?
I liked this episode.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. I thought we had a lot of action going on.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that it was, last week was just pretty much the Omega episode, so it was a lot of the whispers and Lydia and her mom's backstory. So I liked that it was a little bit of both this week, and I just think there was a lot of action, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Anja?
This episode gave me a lot of hope. So just the montage that they were playing, like towards the end of the episode, just people coming together, families, love, sexual intercourse, and whatnot. Like I just appreciated seeing those moments because we get away from the graphic and get into the humanity of everyone.
I'm going to disagree with you, ladies. I didn't
Not a
particularly like this episode.
Interesting.
Last
Why?
episode,
not
I was blown away because we got more of a backstory of the Whisper group or the leader, Alpha, and we got more of like Lydia's storyline. I really enjoyed seeing her character develop. And in this episode, I just felt, first of all, it was Carol and Ezekiel, and you know how I feel about Ezekiel.
That makes sense.
And
You gotta stop hating on those two.
I know, I really do, but I can't help it.
Gosh.
I did like the whole Alpha storyline. I like the
Yes.
whole trade thing, but I don't know this.
You're right.
episode
I
just
would
left me
agree that the
lacking.
Ezekiel Carol storyline didn't really grind my gears, but I definitely was here for the the whole trade and the meeting her and being like, she's scary.
Agreed.
But
Did
yeah.
you guys get the purpose of the Ezekiel and Carol story though? Like how he's trying to bring all of the
that's
communities
Ezekiel.
together.
That's his life
Yeah.
goal.
And then
Yeah.
like how he's trying to salvage memories and pieces of like something that's of substance. Like the kids can actually watch a movie for the
Right.
first
Yeah.
time.
No,
so
I
I thought that was really important.
I get all of that. I just don't like him as a character,
Yeah.
and I feel like Carol.
no matter what
I feel
he
like
does,
okay,
I'm out.
I feel like Carol is just, like I said, one of my favorite characters, and I feel like he's just bringing her.
Maybe it's more
down.
them and their relationship that does it for you.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just their relationship together,
Yeah.
not.
He
Separately.
is enabling her to feel. Carol was like, at one point, she couldn't feel anything. And that's what she was upset about. She wanted to run away from the group because she couldn't feel anything anymore. And so he's enabling her to feel.
I get it, Angele. I appreciate you trying to change my opinion on this, but this is
All right,
going
fine.
like 3 seasons strong. And
Yeah,
the more
he's stuck.
the more and more seasons go by, the more and more I'm like, I really don't like you. I don't know what it is. Guys in the comments,
It's
let
the
us know how you guys feel.
King Ezekiel part
That
that
is.
is tearing you up.
It is.
The
It's
fact that he's speaking so philosophically is just burning you alive, isn't it?
No, because nobody
okay.
talks like that. I just don't.
It's true.
You know what? Let's talk about since Angela's heated up about it. Clearly,
No,
so am I.
Yeah.
So we get a little bit of a flashback. We see Jesus. That was a nice moment. I honestly wasn't expecting to see him again.
Wait a minute. Did you think Jesus was resurrected when you saw that?
Girl,
I was
why?
like, let me find out they resurrected this Jesus too. Because I was just like, okay, why is Jesus in the frame? Like, what is going on here? So they definitely kind of like, psych.
Yeah.
Like, that moment was like, okay, why'd you do that?
Well, I don't know where and what biblical thing you're going through.
Yeah. I think they
But
just
I
wanted to
definitely knew it was a
pretense what was
flashback.
going on. Yeah.
I literally thought they, like, why is he? No, because, like, usually when it's a flashback, you can tell from, like, they make it look
You can
a
tell
little
from the characters on the
cloudy.
screen that are dead.
All right, fine. You can get away with that.
So the only reason I bring this moment up is because we kind of get, so we've already established that the communities are fractured in the present.
Yeah.
And we haven't really gotten back to why that is exactly. We know that
They're not revealing that to us.
Right.
This part of the season. And I'm trying to figure out why are they prolonging, like, the whole explanation of their independence.
Right. And I think that's why I like this moment is because we got a little bit more of that. You know, Tara was at Alexandria.
Yeah.
She left. This is right after she left. She stole, like, medicine, and she stole the charter.
So you're getting that storyline
right.
too, yeah.
And that is important to Ezekiel because, like you said, Angele, like, he is trying to
Unite the communities.
Exactly. And if anybody, and like he says in the episode, I don't know how he phrased it because you know he talks weird. He's the person who's gonna go on the path. I don't remember what it is exactly. You
Which
guys,
was the whole
Don't
point of
do
that
him.
scene, to be like the
Timothy,
setup.
do
yeah.
not do Ezekiel. Not tonight, okay?
All right, I will go easy on Ezekiel. But I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on, do we think that Ezekiel is the right person to go forth and bring these communities together? Or do you think it should really be Carol? Now, I know they're a couple and they're a one unit since they are a couple, but I feel like he's taking the forefront on it, where I feel like it should be Carol because Carol has actually been involved in all of the communities. Whereas Ezekiel, he just kind of came in at the end.
And she
like-
saved
yeah.
everyone's life in each of the communities, too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like Ezekiel's gonna some people are gonna listen to him, whereas others would take on what Carol's saying to heart more. So I think it's just them being a united front is definitely gonna make a difference because some people are gonna look towards Carol, especially people that have been with Carol since day one, or
Right.
people that have been at the kingdom since day one. So, and there's gonna be people that still aren't for it, like Michonne and Alexandria. So it's just gonna be hard.
Yeah.
But he's got the heart, so
Yeah.
he wants
I
it.
hate the way they haven't explained all of this, like a different Michonne, like this half of the season. Like, why is she the way she is right now? She's so jaded.
Well, you know how the Walking
I mean,
Dead does
I
it.
know Rick is gone, okay, but I don't know. She just seems like it's like her against everyone else.
Well, don't forget, it also has a lot to do with what happened with Negan, too.
Yeah.
A lot of the communities didn't agree with what Rick did with Negan.
Right.
Keeping him
That's why they kind of already had to seclude themselves because they're like, this is bull.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that has a lot to do with it, but I wonder if that's it. And I doubt that it is. So we've got a few missions going on with Ezekiel and Carol. We find out that they're going to hunt some elk because that's how they sustain their community. But we also have to remember that a couple of episodes ago, in the first half of the season, we saw the kingdom, and the kingdom's falling apart. They're not doing too good over there, no. And at some point in this episode, Carol even brings up to Ezekiel, you're like, hey, maybe we should talk to Jesus about them taking the kingdom group into the hilltop. But for now, they're going to hunt some elk to sustain their community. And once they've hunted the elk, they have a side mission, and that's to go to a movie theater to get a projector bulb.
For like a second, I thought we were going into a musical at this point. I was like,
Laugh
what is
out
happening?
loud.
Like, they left. It was a lot of comic relief in this, more so than we usually see in the
Especially with Jerry. Jerry's
Yes.
character is very comic relief.
I love Jerry. That's my teddy bear. I love him.
I do like Jerry, too. Out of everybody from the kingdom, Jerry is definitely my
I'm
favorite.
so glad he's still alive.
But do we think that it was worth it? Do we think that it was worth the risk for them to go into the movie theater?
I mean, is it ever worth the risk of
I mean,
life?
we
But
know
yeah.
that
I
it
get
paid off.
Yeah.
But going before that,
No, before
if you were
that,
standing there in the
if
moment.
I was Carol, I would have been like, I mean, they already don't know. I get how cool it's such a great idea, and he really wants to bring the communities together, and what's going to be cooler than being the guy that brought the movies, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just, it was a risk. You almost lost a couple people at certain times, so, I mean, but you know, what are you going to do?
I mean, I liked Ezekiel's kind of defense for it. You know, they haven't seen a movie in 5 years, and like Angele said, I'm
Younger
gonna keep bringing it back to
generations didn't.
yeah, and there are new generations in it. If you're gonna sit here and say, you know, he's trying to give them hope and build up community, I mean, I don't know what does that more than media nowadays. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I
Right.
don't know what touches everybody on that level than movies. And
It's
like
a common
comfort
denominator.
thing,
Exactly.
too. It's
Yeah.
a comfort thing. It's going to bring them back to like times when you could just put on a movie so like effortlessly and
Yes.
just forget about other things. So it's totally, it's gonna bring back hope too.
Agreed.
Don't you love that moment where Carol was able to stand by her man? Like, okay, well, we came here to do what we set out to do. I'm not folding now. Let's go ahead and accomplish the mission. Let's go.
I do love Carol because she's a ride or die, because she always wants to have her opinion heard, but she's also willing to listen, and that's what makes her such a great leader.
Yes.
And that's what brings me back to what I said earlier about her really, going forth with this whole bringing the communities together and putting it on her shoulders, because I feel like people would just take her more seriously. Me, for example. Sorry.
We're not going to get into why you don't take her seriously.
So they get the projector bulb, they find it, and now Ezekiel wants to get something to frame the charter, which I thought that was a good idea. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know.
But was that totally necessary? I think that was the unnecessary part of it all.
That was just, I was already in here, this is here, let's grab it type thing. It's not like he went in there being like, I want a frame.
But isn't that when the walker came out?
Well,
it definitely didn't help the situation that he was like sidetracked by things, but...
Well, that's what bothered me in that moment, was because they're sitting here talking, and that's when Carol brings up the whole Jesus taking the kingdom, and... Then we find out the boombox dies, but you're sitting here having this whole full-fledged conversation, and I'm like, there are like walkers right there in the next room, like a group of like 30 to 40 of them we find out, and you guys want to just sit here and have a conversation. We have a mission, do the mission, get out. I always hate these sidebar conversations because it just...
Especially when you're on a time, there's a clock and it's running down and a herd is coming and you guys are just like la-di-da-di-da, and I'm
that
like,
part.
like, is someone have a timer running? Because you are wasting minutes.
Yes, and as much as we love Jerry, weren't we all mad that he dropped the damn bulb?
Yeah.
One walker, guys, one walker attacked him and everything goes.
Thank God it was bubble wrapped.
No, it was the way they had him drop it. It almost looked like he just served it out. And I'm just like, why was your fingers not clenched? Like, it would have been a finger clenching moment, but his was like, here you go. So I didn't like the way they made that play out.
Yeah.
It just wasn't believable.
I mean, it couldn't have been, there's no way they were going to make it super easy.
No, of course not. I do like
so unbelievable though.
I do like the fight sequence that happened after that though. The slow motion. The soundtrack for this episode was also really good too.
Did you like that?
I did like the soundtrack.
I did.
The music was awesome on this episode. But they get the ball back, which, well, like I said, fight ensues, get the ball back. And I wanted to just point out, on their way back to the community, remember how, total foreshadowing, by the way, when Ezekiel and Carol are talking on the carriage, and he's like, maybe we're done with losing for a while.
I like that part.
But
the
then,
sign?
yes!
The sign.
You saw it too, right?
They were,
we all saw the sign because we didn't know what the hell it meant.
But the fact that they put it right after being like, maybe we can finally, I was like, oh, okay.
Like, no, actually,
So no,
you're
we
not
can't.
done losing.
Yeah, total foreshadowing.
Ellipsis.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what? I want to know what you guys think this sign
It
is.
looked like a little, two legs and a...
It was like the Blair Witch sign.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it
Right?
was.
That's
Oh
what
my
I-
gosh.
That's what it looked like to me.
And wait, there was one, before I get into this, there was one chat, where'd it go? How do I get back up? Oh, so Chaos said there are no good decisions when the world ends, only the best bad decisions. It's great.
I like that. That's a good one.
But yes, also, hey guys, before we move into our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to continue to grow, we could use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, please give us 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows.
Thank you, Krista.
You're welcome.
Don't forget to subscribe at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, you guys. If you are listening to us on iTunes, give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment. We love reading your comments. Make sure you're listening to us on Spotify. Give us a 5-star rating on iTunes as well. We love you guys. We do this show because of you, and this is why we're here. So thank you all for your loyalty and for watching our show.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Let's get into Alpha and the Hilltop. Now, Krista, you weren't here last episode, and I just want to hear your quick thoughts on when you see Alpha come up to the gate of the Hilltop. What was that like for you?
I was like, she is scary.
Well, I also want to know your thoughts on her backstory, too.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of me transitioning. You know, in Fear the Walking Dead, I can't remember her name. The girl that was pretending to be on all the walkies.
Oh, yes, yes.
Why can't I think of her name?
Crazy Black Woman.
Yes.
Yes.
She reminds me so much of her, just thinking that I don't know if it was just the circumstances. I don't know if she's always been like that. I'd like to think before this all started, she was, she was with a decent guy. He seemed pretty nice. So I'm like, there's no way he just fell in love with her when she was that psycho.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe she just broke under the chaos, but I'm hoping, I don't know. And also, like, the fact that at the end of this episode, she does take her daughter back. She cares for her enough to be, she slaps her and hates her, but you could have just left her there.
Because we both had a face when she said that.
But
like,
no,
wait
she
a minute,
just
you
left
took
her there.
back
She
under
came back
what
and got her.
circumstance?
But she came back and got her. When
so she can have someone to beat on.
Yeah, but
it's
her
a
rules are,
play.
which all of the rest of the group knows, that her rules are, you don't take anyone back if they get lost. And then she made it a point to be like, you call me Alpha like everyone else. Obviously, she isn't the same as everyone else because you went back and made the exception to get her.
Yeah.
So she does have a little, whether it's a connection that she like can't leave her, or maybe she's done this all to protect her. Do we know? Yeah.
It's all ego, though.
I don't think so.
I do feel like Angele has a point with the whole, it's a power move. Like, she went back and got her, but then slapping her is just putting her back in her place. You know what I mean?
That for sure. But
but
she
it's
didn't
her
want
daughter.
her to die.
Do you think she would have went back for anyone else's daughter?
No.
That's why I say it's an ego thing. That's my daughter. I'm going back.
Anybody
for
else's
her.
daughter.
That
we already
is
saw
the
her.
We already
only
saw her
extension
sacrifice
of
a daughter.
me.
Yeah.
So, like, Lydia is an extension of Alpha.
Exactly.
And if Alpha, something happened to her, Lydia would take over and be the new Alpha. So that's why she went back. I think it's all ego.
Yeah,
it's a power play.
it's part of ego, but like you said, it's her daughter, and I think that's, it's ego, it's everything. If it was anyone else, she wouldn't do it. It wouldn't even matter. Anyone else was supposed to take over. That was, like, her second. She would have left him.
I just want to take a step back really quick to point out something that you said, Krista, with the whole, in the last episode, we see her kind of become Alpha, if you will. And I think
At least I'm hoping.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that some people, it's just inside of them, and they're just looking for a circumstance to bring it out.
That's true.
So, honestly, I think that she's just one of those people. I think Shane was
She might
another one of those
thrive,
people.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
she probably thrives in these environments.
Negan was another
yes.
one. There are these people, the governor, for example. There are these people who were just waiting for the world to end to show who they really are and to get away with it.
Well, honestly, who else would want to live in the woods as, walk around as the dead eating worms unless you, like, thrived off that kind of power move? You know what I mean?
Right.
Why wouldn't you want to live in the walls of Alexandria? Why would you want to go back out there? But
who knows? I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Alpha, though, really quickly, because her demanding her daughter, and Krista, like you said, she's already breaking the rules by going back and wanting her daughter back.
Yeah.
And we already know why that is. I mean, it's her daughter. I think that, I wonder if the other people in her group look at it as a hypocritical
That's what I want to know.
right?
You'd think they would. They'd be like, well, I thought especially when they were about, she was like, sacrifice your daughter, that lady out in the field. I'd be like, excuse me.
No, but
they believe her.
Don't you love that nonverbal communication? How she just kind of made a gesture like, drop the baby.
Yes.
She was
what
like,
are you talking
drop
about?
the baby.
Drop the baby.
and she looked,
The
you
workers
could
are
tell
coming.
she had some hesitation at first, and then she's like, well, gotta do what I gotta do. I was like, what? You're just literally laying your baby down on the floor to serve it up for dinner.
Before we even get to that moment, we see Daryl and Alpha, and there's like this whole standoff, if you will, between them. And I was living for this. I was like, oh, Daryl and Alpha, they're about to get it.
I'm living for Daryl every day of the week.
Me too. I really, really like Daryl this second half of this season.
I
especially,
like him, period.
Yeah, no, of course.
I kind of
Daryl.
resonate with how he's dealing with Rick's absence.
Right.
He does,
I won't say death, but he thinks it's a death. Rick's absence.
Yes. Yes. I agree with you. I am liking where he's going, where his character is going.
It's making him stronger.
Right. And more, I want to say, human.
Yeah, I feel like every time there's a loss with Daryl, which he's seen a lot, it humanizes him a little bit more.
Yeah.
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 Because he started out so tough, and
Yeah.
then every time something happens, he like cracks like an egg a little
And
bit.
then he cries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's
That
funny
was
that you
cute.
said that, Krista, because it's, even in this moment we see it, when he's like, he tells Alpha, we have enough firepower to blow all of you up right here, right now.
Yeah.
And then
The
the baby
baby.
cries, and then he's like, you brought a baby out here?
How
And
dare you?
I
What the
think-
hell is that? You gonna bring a baby?
Right. And I think that Alpha saw that and saw weakness.
Weakness. Boom.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that was a an error on Daryl's part. Obviously, it's a human error. Obviously, we're all going to be like, you have a baby outside. But
I'm not killing a baby.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think in that moment,
She knew that they were good people.
yeah. And and she says, good
knew
people
they'd
are
win.
weak.
And that is a vulnerability.
Yes, exactly. But what she says to him, she says, we're animals. Animals live out here. Animals have babies. Babies are out here. I was like,
Wait a minute. Did you catch the logic in there? Okay, I'm a philosophy major. Well, I have a degree in philosophy. And everything, like, the way she set that up was all logic. Like, this is exactly why it is, because this is how it is.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. What do you mean? We're animals. Animals have kids. We're out here. We're out here with kids. End of story. Boom. Like,
it's a very simplistic way to look at the world. Everything is black and white with these people,
Yeah.
except for when it comes to her and her daughter. And then there's this gray area, which is why I brought the hypocrisy thing up in her group. But I feel like when you're in this whole black and white world, you don't leave room for humanity.
Yeah, at
because
that
humanity is
point-
never black and white.
And Daryl could have been like, well, for those facts, that little way you're going, then we can just keep your daughter because she's like an animal. Now we have her.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
okay.
what?
Okay, Krista.
Yeah, but she didn't care. But you know what I mean? None of that logic made sense because she was there
Right.
to get hers. Well, no one else's met. It just was why.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, then we find that Alpha has Alden and Luke, thank you. And so she's kind of in a power position now because she has 2 of ours. We only have 1 of hers. What would you guys have done?
I would have given the daughter
What
back.
she said made so much sense. She's like, this is a damn good deal.
Yeah.
Like, what are you hesitating
You don't even
about?
know my daughter.
Give me my daughter, and you get 2 of yours. What are you doing?
Like, first of all, she
why are you
belongs to
thinking?
me. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just the whole logic behind it.
Yeah.
So also, she must have known that she was bad talking her mom because, like, why wouldn't he have just been like, take her? I don't want her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Also, 2 people for such a good deal.
I was like, why are we hesitating about this? But then
I
it's
am not a big fan of Lydia, so I was ready to
Yeah.
kick her ass out. Anyway, get her out of here. She's
She
contaminated.
almost beat Henry over that.
right. Well,
with a hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, Miko and Magna and all those people were right with you, Angele, because they went right back to the cell to go get her, to give her up.
Yes.
And I'm with you guys. I'm like, it's a fair trade. What I liked, though, is that Daryl didn't spill all of the beans to Alpha, just in case Lydia had to go back to her. Like, he didn't sit there and go, she doesn't want to go with you. She told us this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he was still protecting her.
Right.
Which, yeah.
just in case.
But Lydia still got bitch slapped.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
sure she's
She
gonna
came
get
home
bitch
to
slapped
mama.
Yes,
more.
yeah. But they go to
So-
get Lydia, and she's gone, obviously, because Henry freed her. And we talked about this last episode.
We're not gonna
Krista.
get on Henry because I hate being like negative Nancy on the
Yeah.
show. But Henry, poor Henry.
He annoys the crap out of me. Like, I love Henry, but Henry, you just keep making these decisions. He doesn't think with his head. He only
Girl
thinks
would have
with his
never
heart.
done that. Like, oh my
He's
gosh.
such an emotional boy. It's
Yes. Yeah. It's just
But I'm
think
like, how
he's
many
just
times is he gonna
full of
almost kill
hormones.
everyone?
right. So now, not only does Daryl have to trust me, we talked about it all last episode. We don't understand. We are all very frustrated with Henry.
Yeah.
Because he just thinks with. I don't want to say what he
His-
thinks with.
We all know what he's thinking with.
We
He's
all
a
know what
young
he's
boy.
thinking with.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's frustrating because Daryl's trying to teach him a lesson, and it's time after time and time again that he's not getting it. And then we see this whole. I know we've hinted about it. We've talked about it a little bit with the baby, but we really get a feel and a sense of how savage this group is with just her giving this woman a look to put your baby down,
And she does.
and she does.
Put the baby down.
And
What you doing?
What I personally thought she was gonna walk away. You know what I mean? I thought she was gonna leave with the baby.
That's what I would have done. I'd be like, me and the baby gonna go.
Right, like, okay, well,
Like-
let me know how this plays out.
Yeah, we'll
We
see you
gonna
guys
go over
later.
here.
Yeah.
Actually, I can be the distraction to lead the walkers away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
here's my thing. You guys have all this ability to make all these masks that are pretty form-fitting. They look pretty good. Scary. And you can't make a pacifier.
Do something. Let the baby chew
I
on
thought
something.
she was gonna pop her breast in the baby's mouth because that's
yeah.
what I
Well,
would.
I mean-
Well, you know, I used to nurse, and all you gotta do is pull it out and put it in her mouth.
what?
No
Okay.
more noise. Okay, they are content at least for an hour
Yes.
because they get like milk drunk afterwards.
yeah.
So they're good.
I think what I loved about this, though, is that in last episode, we were criticizing the episode for being like, why did they leave Connie in the back? And why is she now outside stranded? And then we see that she has a purpose because Luke sees her and he kind of gives her sign language, which I thought was brilliant.
That
So
was
go get the baby.
I loved that.
Yes.
I love that.
And she does. And the scene that follows that was so intense. I was literally biting my nails the whole time because they eliminated the sound from the scene. It was like this warped.
They muffled it
Yeah.
Could you imagine being
severely.
deaf in a zombie apocalypse?
Right. And a crying baby in your arms, but you don't know how loud the baby is crying. But then there's like zombies all around.
That was
you.
a great scene.
It was a great scene. I was like, how's she gonna get out of this?
for them to cut from sound to no sound.
Oh, yeah.
Like
You could've
have
seen
them
how-
kind of adjacent and just so we could see like what the contrast was.
That I half agree with you, but I like the fact that they put us in Connie's head for a second because we've all been wondering what it's like
I wanted to
for
be in
her.
Connie's head, but I wanted to hear like the other side and
like
then let's go
compared
back
to how crazy
Connie.
loud
Yeah.
it would be. Yeah.
No, I feel you. I still loved that it was like all silent for
Yeah.
us because it was just nerve wracking. I was
Yeah, it
like,
was.
yeah. But Daryl
As it
comes and
usually-
saves the day once again. Daryl's got a whole bunch going on this. He's trying to form an agreement. He's trying
Rescuing
to trade.
babies,
He's trying to
saving young girls. Yeah.
saving deaf women. Like he's just doing the
Daryl is
most.
about to start a nonprofit right after this episode.
Yeah.
He is Daryl for president, you guys. So we find. Okay, do you guys remember, and everybody in the comments, keep me in check on this, the girl that is helping Enid and them find Henry in the house? What is her name? The one
can't
that was,
remember her
that he was
name.
drinking with?
I know
just
her in
call
real
her
life,
one
but
of
I
the
don't know her.
teenagers.
I don't, you know her in real life?
Yeah, I'm friends with her.
Oh, that's so cool.
You don't know her
No, not her character name.
name? No, but
Well, get on the show, girl.
What's
Let's
her
see.
name?
Actually, she might put it on. Let's see. Well, you continue. We'll see. If
Well,
she
yeah.
puts
Well,
it on the...
this girl
I need
helps.
you to network and like have like a special feature in the show so that we can talk about you.
Yeah.
Well, the
Okay.
girl that
There we go.
Krista is friends with, she's gonna find out her character's name, helps the group find where Henry is hiding Lydia.
He's so predictable in every single way. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, he's a teenage boy. I mean, he doesn't have an original thought in his head.
No.
I mean, really though. And once they find him, this moment between Enid and Henry kind of goes on, and I really like this moment. Now, Enid, and Krista can attest to this, wasn't our favorite character, and I don't know how you felt about her, Angele.
Addie.
Addie, thank you.
Addie.
Addie helps Enid find Henry. And we weren't the biggest Enid fans, but going through the season, I liked how she's grown as a character, and I liked this moment between her and Henry because she talks about her parents, and she tells Henry, you just gotta live with the decisions that you make. That's essentially what it comes down to in the zombie apocalypse. You just have to live with whatever decision you make. And I thought that was words to live by. It's just another lesson for Henry.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I thought that was a pretty good lesson. You know who
The
got
only
it?
thing I
Lydia.
had against Enid was how she kept trying to get out. Like when she first got there, she just kept trying to sneak out. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're putting everybody's life at risk trying to
Yeah.
find you. And then Carl was like sprung. So
Yeah.
I was over it. So
Which
yeah.
is that's kind of why it was nice that she was the one that went after him because she's like, "Yo, I've been through this.
Been
through
yeah,
this, yeah.
it doesn't work out.
This
You just-
love
yeah.
shit is just like
Yeah.
mind
Yeah.
blowing.
Yeah. And I love that she brought up Carl too.
Right?
I thought that was a
That
nice
was very
moment
nice.
also because it's been, what, 6 years?
Yeah,
7 years?
it's been a minute.
Yeah. So it was nice to hear her talk about it. And Lydia hears Enid's conversation. She comes out and she kind of is the more responsible one in this moment between her and Henry. And she's like, she's my mother. Those are my people. I'm going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
She used logic too.
Yeah.
Henry could learn from all of these
Yes.
logical statements.
Right. And then they kiss.
Was that his first kiss or what?
I think
right?
so.
Yeah.
I think it was his
I mean,
first
you
kiss.
know,
gave him a good one.
It
too.
had to be because you don't
I
go
said, "Ooh, I heard the
following
smack."
her into the woods. Yeah.
But she eats worms, you guys. That's all I can think about in that scene.
She eats worms.
Well, so does Henry now.
he
Oh, that's
ate-
true, you're
Yeah,
right.
I was about to say.
true, you're right.
Yeah.
They can eat worms together.
Yep.
So then we get back to the hilltop. The trade is completed. And once again, there's that moment where the trade happens and then they just stand outside hugging and like, oh, I'm so glad you're okay. I'm like, get inside. What are we waiting for? Like, there have
Yeah.
been so many times where something like this has happened where, okay, everything's fine and then nothing's fine.
I know. I was like, get in, close the gate.
Why is it
And
so
then
hard?
embrace.
Yeah.
Right. Like, if I was Alden or Luke, I would have been like,
And
okay,
in
bye,
that
let's go. We
order.
can talk inside.
I
Let's
just
go.
gotta-
In that
We-
order.
Yeah. And then once we're there, we have this moment between Henry and Daryl. And Henry once again brings up Daryl's abusive past. And once again, Daryl just gives him this lesson of, you just have to live with it. It's not something that you want to live with. It's just something you have to live with. It is what it is.
To
what
live.
I mean? Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you, Krista. You have to live with it to live. And we obviously find out that Henry can't deal with it. He can't live with it. And he goes after Lydia. Was that surprising to anybody?
No.
I
Especially not
figured.
after she kissed him like that. He was
Right.
like, oh, now I gotta get her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the major tease, and then
he
she
had
walks
that little
off.
tingle going on, and he's like, "Oh, I want some more of
Yeah,
that
he's
tingle."
like, I'm in love.
Yes. Yeah. I wanted to know what happened to the baby too, because I was like, where is the baby? And we find out that Tammy Rose and
Yeah.
Earl is going to take care of it.
Yeah.
And I love that because they had that moment earlier in the episode where Enid is taking care of Earl. And they kind of allude to, after they lost Kenneth all those years ago, he's still trying to fill this
They
empty...
have to feel like they need a new son.
Right.
Was the baby a boy, though?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it's a baby, so
But I think it's a
there
boy.
you go.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm glad that they
New son.
rescued the
There you
baby.
go.
I'm glad that they're going to raise the baby. Maybe this will take down Tammy Rose a little bit because she's getting on my
Yeah,
nerves.
she's
intense.
very high strung.
Yeah,
She
thank
just
you.
talks too much.
Yes, agreed.
Get somewhere and sit down.
Yeah. And then Jerry, our teddy bear, and Nabila, they have their baby. He alludes to in the beginning of the
Yeah.
episode how she's pregnant, and now, flash
They
forward,
have
a
3
baby.
kids already.
Adorable.
Yeah.
So cute, though.
They're just
Oh my
building
gosh.
up the community.
Right?
I like that.
And then the last moment that I want to wrap up with is Connie. Once again, I think Connie was a standout character in this episode for me. Because once again, like we see
was.
more of like what's inside of
it
her
was
head.
a shiro.
Yeah, and she was a Shiro, and then she wants to be even more of a Shiro and going with Daryl.
I loved the end.
Yes.
That was the notes back and forth. That was
Oh,
great.
yes.
I can't live with it either. I was
Yeah.
like, this is perfect.
Okay, so did you guys realize what a boss she was when she's like, I actually don't need your permission. I'm walking out of this gate with you.
Yeah.
Because, like, at first she seemed like she wanted his approval, and then when he was like, no, she's like, okay, that didn't mean anything. Let's go.
I don't think she was ever looking for his approval. She said, "I'm going with you."
Yeah.
There was no can I go with you?
But she had this, like she was waiting for, like, she was assessing too much instead of, like, okay, let's go. Like, she seemed like she was waiting for him to say, okay. But I think that's kind of foreshadowing a little something between them two.
Maybe.
Some people,
I'm sorry,
when
I
was
don't
looking-
write into predictions.
No,
You
when
did
I
jump
was
right into
looking at
prediction.
news, a lot of people were saying,
saying that?
It's like a huge thing that the fans want.
I always like seeing Daryl go off with like other people.
I need him with someone.
I know we keep trying to get him with people, and he is just not doing
I know
it.
we went
He
from
blows
guys
off
to
of
girls
everyone.
to everybody. He's had moments with Aaron and Eric, and he's had moments with Michonne. Well, Carol, and he's
He
had
better
moments with
not have
Michonne, but
moments with Michonne.
not like that. But he's been
Okay.
off with Michonne. He's had he had moments with Beth. Like he's
Always
been
the
off
best
with
friend,
people.
never the lover.
Yeah, so I'm like, we're still trying to figure out what Daryl's sexuality is. We're trying
Yeah.
to, like, he's just one of those characters that we don't know where he's gonna go with his love interest, and I don't think I mind at this point that he doesn't have one or hasn't had one.
No,
because
he doesn't need one.
Yeah, he's
per
got
se,
dog.
yeah.
That's all he needs.
Dog.
He's got dog.
Come here, dog.
One of our viewers said, I wonder if the woman with the baby who left her baby behind will come back for the baby. What y'all think about that?
I don't think so.
saw-
That's a good question.
I think
People in
that's
here think
juicy.
it's Lydia's baby. And I was
What?
like, when did she get preggers? Well, we wouldn't know, but
No, she doesn't seem like that kind of type to me.
no.
But then again, they're animals,
Not
so I
even
don't
that
know.
she's that kind of type, but like that's
Weird, right? I was like, well, that's quite the prediction.
I don't think that her mother would let her. That's what I mean.
Right.
Like the type that her.
She will beat the baby out of her.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, like that baby will never come into this world.
I don't think that baby was Lydia's.
Yeah, I didn't
Nah.
think. It just was a very interesting prediction.
It's
I
a
saw
it's a
in
really
here,
interesting
yeah.
question. I'm glad that our viewers approached us with that one.
And then somebody said, I'm going to be so pissed if somebody dies because of Henry. I'm right there with you. Henry, if you take anybody down with you, I promise this will be a different after show.
Agreed. Krista, give us some shout outs very quickly.
Yeah, so we have, oh my gosh, there's so many of you in here. Chaos 13212. We've got JJ. We've got Howling Wolf is all up in here. Alonzo Wilkins.
Lonzo, hey boo.
Who else? Michael Esperanza
You guys-
and NYCT
Oh.
NYC NYC. That's great.
Shout out to NYC. I'm from New York too.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us in the chat. That is our recap of this episode. We are going to go into our favorite kill segment right before we do news and gossip. So, favorite kill segment, you guys. I want to hear. Thank you, our wonderful engineer, for our soundbite. Who was your favorite kill segment this episode?
I think mine was when Daryl comes out of the cornfield and Connie's running around with the baby, and he just comes out of nowhere and takes the walker out that was behind her.
I like that one.
Yeah. I think that was mine, just because it was Daryl to the rescue, per usual.
Angele?
I think it was the walker at the theater that I thought was going to take everybody out. Came out of nowhere because everybody was just like lackadaisical about everything.
Speaking of walkers at the theaters, the one in the popcorn machine that scalped
the scalp.
Okay, I'm glad everyone else was cringing because I was like, ugh.
I was too. But that was my favorite kill, the one with Jerry, then the sword through the bottom of that was my favorite kill of the episode too. So yeah, good job, Jerry. That's our favorite kill. Let us know what your favorite kill is, you guys, in the comments, or tweet at us or whatever. Let's get into some news and gossip.
Okay. Oh, there it is. I was like, are we getting it? All right. So everyone knows that, well, I'm sure most of you know that the Oscars were this past Sunday, so yesterday. And a lot of people in the forums and the fan sections for The Walking Dead were kind of sad because Scott Wilson was left out of the Oscars in memory. But obviously they can't do everyone, and there's so many people that we lose every year from the industry. But yeah, so just a little moment to shout him out, and we did lose him this year.
Yeah.
So,
last year.
Yeah, last year.
But yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because if the Oscars won't give him justice, we will. So shout out to Scott Wilson, who unfortunately passed away last year.
Yeah.
We miss him. We miss him every day on this show.
I
know. We love him. I don't know what else to say. They also left out Carol Channing. That has nothing to do with The Walking Dead. But
they left her out.
They did leave out a lot of people. It just wasn't Scott Wilson.
Yeah.
But I can understand why the Walking Dead community was upset by that, because he was Herschel. He was a pillar of our community.
And he's been in a lot of other things too.
Agreed.
So.
Yeah, he wasn't just on The Walking Dead. So, yeah, well, shout out to Scott Wilson for not being in the memoriam on the Oscars, but he will be in our memoriam tonight.
He's in our spirit.
He is.
He's right here on this
Scott
panel.
Wilson.
He's sitting right there.
Oh, that's kind of creepy. Let's get into some predictions, you guys.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Angela, I'm going to shoot it over to you because you were already dropping predictions as it is. But give us your prediction again. What was it?
So my prediction is that the mama bear will come back for baby bear at some point later on, because such hypocrisy. You get to come back for your daughter and I can't come back for my baby? Why?
But you also brought up Daryl and Connie, too. Daryl and Connie.
Oh, yes. Daryl and Connie. We're going to do a little love connection there. Please and thank you.
Yeah.
I would really appreciate for them to write that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Daryl has been alone for a long time.
I'm going to actually read out, because this is interesting. Russell Havoc 04 said the sign on the markings on the sign is a marking of the Whispers territory for the infamous Pike event from the comics.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
That could be
that from the comic?
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
So, yeah, I do agree that I think it has something to do with the Whispers.
Yeah.
Because remember how they mentioned they were like, well, they were in our territory. And I was like, well, is anyone going to ask what their territory is so we can, like, not enter it again?
Where is that?
Yeah.
You wanna, like...
So I think that's going to be important.
Yeah. Agreed. I think that Lydia is not going to be very happy with her group after she sees how the other half lives. I think that she's going to try to escape before Henry can even get to her. And Henry's just going to dig himself into a hole and probably get captured, and then they're gonna have to go rescue him.
Probably gonna die.
Oh, well, I mean, I would say we can only hope, but that seems a little brash.
Okay.
You know what's interesting is that if Henry died, I want to see the toll that it would take on Carol. And after she lost her daughter, I want to see what would happen with Carol's character. Because right now, like,
I forgot about Carol.
There was like major foreshadowing, like, oh, everything's gonna be fine now with her and Ezekiel, and I'm like,
empty nest, all that stuff.
So I wondered if something's gonna happen where she loses another kid. Ooh, I don't know. I love her. I don't want her to go through that, but I'm interested to see what her character would do.
How did you feel about her with shoulder-length hair in that flashback?
She needs to cut her hair.
It's getting long.
Right.
It's not even a flashback. It's present now.
She looks
still
like
has
a
it.
witch. No, like in the flashback where Jesus was there.
Yeah, but she still has
the
that.
shoulder length.
Yeah.
Now it's long.
Well, I just know that she needs to cut it. That's it.
It's because she feels safe now, guys. Remember?
Yeah, because of the whole
When she was
she's
getting
not getting
beat,
abused.
he'd pull her by her hair.
Yes.
But it doesn't need to be that long. Nice little shoulder length.
I like the shoulder length better.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know. She had a unique look when she had the shortcut because it was that perfect little bend at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know. I love me some Carol, and I like Carol with short hair. I'm very protective of Carol.
I
Carol can rock
know.
all the hairstyles
I
she
know.
wants.
I was like, I want her with short hair, and I want her single, or with whatever.
Old Carol.
Those are our predictions. You guys, let us know what your predictions are. We don't have time, unfortunately, to go into a comic conversation, but I'm glad that we had that one viewer in our chat that brought up the comics and how that was whisper territory. So we're excited to see the similarities that the show has with the comics. We are going to be focusing more on the show because the show always, deviates from the comics. So we're here to talk about the show.
And that's what we're here for.
But we do love you guys in the viewer in the chat who gives us comic book references and stuff like that because we think it's totally invaluable. So that is our recap, ladies. Where can our beautiful viewers find you?
You go first.
Oh, you guys can find me on Instagram at AngeleTaylor_.
And you guys can find me everywhere at Krista Flentje.
And I am Timothy Michael. You can find me everywhere at I am Timothy Mike. We will see you guys next week. Same day, same time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principal.